got a secret. Oh yeah, you've got a secret. Don't know what it is, but it's big. I know you've got a secret. Why can't you tell the truth to me? I'm not blind. Things ain't what they used to be. You've got a secret. Oh yeah, you've got a secret. Don't know what it is, but it's big. I know you've got a secret. Try to understand this thing, but I don't buy that you can't tell me everything. You've got a secret. Oh yeah, you've got a secret. Don't know what it is, but it's big. I know you've got a secret. You've got a secret. Yeah, 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 you've got a secret. Whoa, whoa, yeah, you've got a secret. Oh, yeah, 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 you've got a secret. Don't know what it is, but it's big.
That's just a beautiful sound. I just love those vocals. Lawrence Lebo, and am I blessed to have Lawrence Lebo on the show live from California tonight. Thank you, Lawrence. Welcome on.
Oh, thanks for having me. It's such a pleasure.
I really appreciate it. And especially that sound that, and again, thank you, Blind Raccoon Betsy Brown, for providing this such a bluesy, groovy sound that you have. And tell us a little bit where you come from and your little background in L.A. And welcome again, Lawrence, to the show.
Oh, sure. Great. Well, I grew up in Whittier, California, which we used to refer to as Oklahoma, California, because there were so many Arkies and Okies that kind of transplanted there. So even though it's the West Coast, it was very Midwestern kind of growing up. So I've been singing ever since I can remember, which are just always had a really large voice, and always took lessons and started working professionally as soon as I was old enough, and here I am.
You were saying is it very, very like ranchy country, like where you were growing up in that area? Is country music a big also kind of your background besides the blues, or has always been the bluesy part of Lawrence?
Well, that's interesting because as a professional musician, I worked a lot during the country western fad that that hit America, that came around with the urban cowboy movies. Yes. So I actually worked professionally in all those clubs that popped up in L.A. And L.A. has a wide variety of music here because we have a lot of record labels here in the entertainment industry here. So at one time there were a lot of country labels here, but then they up and moved to Nashville.
Oh, okay.
So, but I really got a wide variety of music exposed to me in the area, and from my household.
Now in California, you guys have such a rich tradition out there too, with the Hollywood type of scene, and now you're on the IMDb, so you have done. Your background is much more diverse than the music. You also are a music teacher, working with kids and all that. That's a great background for everybody, Lawrence.
That's really what I enjoy quite a bit. I take private vocal students and private ukulele students.
Yes.
And I also teach this really special class. There's a world-famous music store in Santa Monica, California called McCabe's Guitar Shop. Mm-hmm. It's also a concert hall, and I perform there. But I do classes there, blues vocal classes, where I break down the techniques that blues singers use that actually define the sound to be blues in this class. And it's no one teaches a class like it, and I really just love teaching it.
Well, that's one thing we were talking before, off air. I was asking about your voice. The sound of it in that track right there, that's what came to it. You've got a secret that I heard right away, and it's my voice, but it sounds mysterious and really cool. So that's kind of what you were trying to explain, the technique of the blues, huh?
Well, yes, you can actually, as any teacher knows, you can, break down these things and analyze them into, different exact ways. Like, for example, one of the techniques that blues singers use is a growl. So we'll add a rah into the singing. That's a blues technique. So that's an example.
Now we're going back to like Ma Rainey days, because I have a guest that Carolyn Gaines was on my show, and her father is Roy Gaines, and from the blues days, and those guys, Big J McNeely. And she has a style that she was trying to, the old school using your voice. Is that the same type of thing with the early days?
Well, I'm not really that familiar with her sound, unfortunately, but I'm sure she must use some of these, techniques that all blues singers use that define the sound. You can go back to different singers who were coming up with the blues and forming the blues. Memphis Minnie is a really good one to refer to. Mm-hmm. She is a very good example of the shouting blues style, which came completely from field haulers, the slaves in the fields. Mm-hmm. And that's a style that's defined in the blues.
I gotcha, because I also talked to another artist, Lori Morvan, and she was telling me that it's such a platform, such a palette of the blues. Now, I actually am very much new to a lot of this. I come from the rock and roll, the Who, the Beatles, the classic side. And once I put this show together, people like Betsy Brown provided this awesome blues for me. And that's where I got exposure to you and all these other artists, which I would never know before. And, this new type of way to connect is beautiful. And again, thank you for providing this in my life and expanding my knowledge of music, too.
Well, that's my pleasure. And so you're mentioning rock and roll, and the class that I teach evolves into rock and roll because rock and roll took their sound completely from the blues. You can take the same techniques that were formed in blues singing style and find them in rock and roll.
Well, the ones that I like here, Roger Daltrey and those guys, I'm a fan of the Who, Howlin' Wolf and all those guys. And that was another one that, talking to Carolyn, I learned about those things too. But yeah, those are all the singers that those guys looked at back in the day to create the Rolling Stones and such.
Sure. I mean, even Elvis, talked about how he used to go listen to black blues singers. Janis Joplin. Mm-hmm. Everyone was listening to blues singers.
Yeah, yeah. And you are keeping it alive. You are teaching people. And again, now let's get to some awesome tracks for everybody. I always like to chat a little bit, but then let's get to the real music, the real guest. While you're here again, Lawrence Lebo, my fabulous guest, Stormy Monday, and Give Me a Try. We're going to crank a couple of these for everybody now. You want to lead into those? Any words on that before I play those?
Stormy Monday is a wonderful traditional blues song, but I think I put a little bit of a different spin on it. So enjoy.
Here we go. That's what I think.
They call
Be right back.
Stormy Monday, but Tuesday's just as bad. They call it Stormy Monday, but Tuesday's just as bad. Wednesday is even worse, and Thursday's oh so sad. The eagle flies on Friday, and Saturday I go out to play. Well, the eagle flies on Friday, and Saturday I go out to play. Sunday I go to church, and I get down on my knees, and I pray, oh, pray for me.